हाय सायन।
हाय आद्या दीदी, हाउ आर यू?
आई एम गुड, आप कैसे हो?
मैं भी ठीक हूँ. सो टुडे वी विल कंटिन्यू विद सॉर्टिंग लिस्ट्स.
या ओके।
या.
सायन, आपको पता है आप 11th में क्या लोगे? मतलब आपने सोचा है?
हाँ, आई हैव थॉट अबाउट इट. पीसीएम.
ओके, पीसीएम, नाइस नाइस।
आ आपने क्या लिया था?
मैंने भी पीसीएम लिया था विद सीएस।
ओह नाइस.
आपको तो जरूरत ही नहीं है सीएस की, लिटरली आप सर को पढ़ा दोगे अपने।
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है.
यही सब होता है जो आप सिखा रहे हो ना, बस उसी का थोड़ा बेसिक लेवल।
ओह, कोई नहीं, वो तो बात की बात है. नाउ राइट नाउ तो मैं 10th में हूँ.
हाँ, अभी तो बोर्ड्स है, हो
हाँ.
जाएंगे, बट इजी होते हैं बोर्ड्स तो।
हम्म. सही बात है. सो टुडे हम सॉर्टिंग लिस्ट सीखेंगे. सो देयर आर मैनी वेज टू सॉर्ट लिस्ट. सो वी कैन
या
customize how the way we want to sort, and there are just many ways to sort it. So first, the basic ways to sort it alphanumerically. So you can sort it
या
alphabetical wise and numerically, in ascending order or descending order. So
ओके।
over here we are sorting over here. So we get 23, 50, 65, 82 and 100 in ascending order. But if all of these were in
या
strings or in quotes, we can say, then these will be strings. So the result won't be what we expect. So the result will be actually 100, 23, 50, 65 and 82. Now 100 is coming before because now it sees everything in quotes. So it's comparing the numbers, the first number first. So in strings, when it compares, it compares the first letter, then the second letter, then the third letter. Now it is comparing the first number
ओके।
of each number, each of these strings. So the first number of 100 is the smallest, so it puts 100 first. Then it sees 23's first digit is the smallest, so it puts 23. Then 50, then 65, then 82. So it's like sorting alphabetically. These numbers are being sorted alphabetically.
या अंडरस्टूड।
Yeah. So next we have descending order sorting, in descending order. So basically when we give reverse equals to true to the sort method, then it would sort in descending order. Same with number,
ओके।
with the list of numbers also. Next, the new thing is customizing the sort function. So, for example, if you want to sort this list, and basically we wanted to sort it in such a way that the numbers are from the closest to the furthest from the number 50. So, like, if you
ओके।
wanted to sort this, like, first 50 will come, then 65 will come, then 23 will come, then 82, then 100. So the
या
numbers which are closest to 50, that way we want to sort it. So we can give it a custom function. So now what this custom function is doing is it's returning an absolute value of the number we pass minus 50. So to look what this function is returning, let's say another list. So this function for 100 will return 50. For 50 it will return 0. For 65 it will return 15. For 82 it will return um okay, mine so it will return 32. For 23 it will return 27. So this is what it will return. So for this function, for each item, for 100 it will return 50, for 50 it will return 0, for 65 it will return 15, for 82 it will return 32, and for not 32, um, is it 38? Yeah,
38,
yeah,
या। ओके।
38.
ओके, यू subtracting each number
Yeah.
from 50,
So
ओके।
this is
या
what is being returned from this my function. So now my function is returning this. Now it will sort in ascending order. So it will sort this in ascending order. So now we will get 0, 15, 15, 27, 38 and 50. So this is being sorted.
Okay.
Now 0 was for 50. So in place of each
Yeah.
of these numbers, we will just put the original values. So 0 was for
Original.
50, 15 for 65, um, and 27 for 23, and then 38 for 38 was for 82, and then 50 is for 100. So that's our sorted list according to the function that we passed.
Okay. Understood.
So that's how we are getting this sorted list. So this is basically how we can custom sort, and to pass in the function we'll have to give it like key equals to myfunc.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there is case insensitive sort also. So basically what it does is Python by default, it first sorts all the capital letters and then it sorts all the small letters or the lowercase letters.
Okay.
So if we sort this, we won't get banana and cherry in the start. We'll get kiwi, then orange, then banana, and then cherry. But if we want to like do case insensitive sort, so for example we want banana, cherry, kiwi, orange, that is in alphabetical order without considering any letter being capital or small, then we just need to do key equals to string dot lower. So what we are doing is we are
Okay.
kind
So
of,
it will convert everything into lower first and then
yeah,
it will sort.
yeah. So
Okay.
like we passed this custom function, similarly we are passing the custom function lower to this. So it will convert everything to
Okay.
lower first and then it will sort it. But in the final list we will
Yeah.
always see the original form. So like kiwi, we won't see in
Okay.
lowercase, we are getting uppercase K.
Okay. Understood.
And then we can reverse the list also. So if we have a list, we can just run dot reverse and it will just reverse the order of the items.
Okay.
So next we are on copying the list. So there is two ways to copy a list. One is copy method and one is the list method. But we can't do list 2 equals to list 1 because then list 2 will only be a reference to list 1. So just to
Okay.
show, like we have this list and we say this list 2 is equals to this list. Now if I print this list is this list 2, so this will show true because this list 2 is basically just a reference to this list, it's not a copy.
Yeah.
So if I change
Okay.
a value of this list 2, so for example I say 0 equals to orange, and then I this print this list 0, then even though I've tried to change the value of the 0th element of this list 2, it will also change the value of this list 0th element. So we get orange when we print this list 0th element even though we change this list
Okay.
2's. So now to
Understood.
prevent this we use the copy method. So this will create a copy. So if I print my list is this list, then this will give false because it's a copy, they are not pointing to the same memory location.
Okay, so basically if we use it ऐसे this list is equals to this list too, तो वो दोनों सेम ही लिस्ट बन जाती है.
हाँ.
But when we use copy, this list too is another list, but it contains the same elements, but it is a different list.
या सो जब वो सेम होती है तो वो बस लाइक दे आर डिफरेंट नेम्स फॉर द सेम लिस्ट.
Yeah, understood.
And next there is another way, we could use copy and we can also use the list constructor method and pass whichever list we want to copy. So because list
Okay.
returns every time this function will return a new list. So that's why we can use this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Next we can also join lists. So one is the using the plus operator, which basically concatenates basically adds the items of one list into another. So this
Yeah.
list two's items will go after ABC, as we have said this list one for the list one first, so plus list 2, so 1 2 3 will be added after, and the new list will be saved in list 3. So when we print list 3 we get ABC 1 2 3. List 2 plus list 1 will give us 1
One,
2
two,
3
three.
ABC.
ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can also use the append method. So basically what we can do, we can loop on the items of one list, and we can append each item individually into the other list. So what we have list 1, then we have list 2, then we are bringing in each item of list 2 in X, so we are looping on list 2, and each item that is coming in X we are adding in list 1 through the append method. So first the value 1 is being appended, then the value 2 is being appended, and then the value 3 is being appended, and then we are printing list 1, so we get this list only, ABC 1 2 3.
So is it necessary to use loop in this? Like, can we do list one dot append list two?
Yeah, we can do that, but this will not bring the exact same result. So if I say list 1 dot append list 2, then this will append this whole list itself. It won't append
Acha,
each
okay.
item into it.
Understood, understood. Yes.
So basically first method और second method में the difference is कि in the first method एक new list बन रही थी, so list 3 was being created, but over here list
Yeah.
1 is being edited, तो उसके अंदर ही add हो रहा है.
Yeah, yeah. Understood.
Yeah. And then there's also the extend method. So when we say list 1 dot extend list 2, so it will add each of these elements, each of these values inside of list 1, and then when we print list 1 we'll get ABC 1 2 3.
Okay. Yes.
Then there are many list methods, and most of these are very less, so we can just go through them. We have seen append, we have seen clear, copy, we have seen count. Basically returns the number of elements with the specified value. So for example, if you have a list and you want to check how many times the number 1 is in the list, so you can use count.
Count. Yeah.
Then we have seen extend, and then we also saw index, which returned the index of the first
Index
occurrence
value.
of whatever
Yeah.
value we put. And then insert also we saw pop, remove, reverse, sort, all we have seen. Next are the list exercises that we can leave for later, and now we move on to tuples. So a tuple is created through parentheses. So inside the parentheses we give like keep our values, and it is unchangeable. So you cannot add values, remove values, or change any value. It is indexed, so you can access all the values through the index. It's ordered, so its order will stay whatever you give. So tuple
Okay.
tuples is one of the iterable types in Python, collection types in Python, and basically here we are just seeing an example of printing a tuple.
Yeah.
And then they have normal indexing. Their indexing starts from 0, and they also allow duplicates. So like sets and dictionaries, they don't allow duplicates. Tuples do allow duplicates.
Okay. Understood.
And then the length function, like in list, will bring the length of the tuple. And now this is interesting, when we have a tuple with one item only, then we will have to give a comma to make this actually a tuple. when we try
Yeah.
to say this tuple is equals to parenthesis apple, then what this does is it takes these parentheses as an operator. Instead of representation of tuple brackets, it takes it as the parenthesis operator that we use in calculations like 6 plus 3
Yeah.
into 2.
In arithmetic operators we
Yeah.
used.
So it will take it as the parenthesis operator, and this would be ignored as we are passing just a string in it. These parentheses would be
Yeah.
essentially ignored, and this tuple won't be a tuple, it would be a string as we have printed the
String.
type. So to make this a
Okay.
tuple, we'll give a comma.
Just to show that there are more elements in it.
Yeah, just to uh, not to show that there are more elements, but to show that this is a collection type. That comma means
Okay.
that there can be more elements, because tuples cannot be changed or you cannot add values, so we can't say that we are showing that there are more elements, but we are showing that it's a collection type.
Okay, okay, understood.
And then we can add any data type values in one tuple. There can be different data type values, and when we print the type of the tuple, we get class tuple. And then, like we have the list constructor, we also have the tuple constructor. And like in list, we have to pass, like in parentheses, to create a tuple through the tuple constructor. We can also pass in a list to this, so this will convert the list into a tuple.
Into tuple.
Yeah, and it will
Yeah.
return the new tuple.
Okay.
And then it's just telling us that about all these different collection types that we have already seen. And next we are on accessing tuples. So we can access through indexing that we saw. Negative indexing is also same as in lists. So -1 is the last item, -2 is the second last, and so on. And then the range of indexes is also same. 5 is not included, so from 2 to 5, so 0 1 2 cherry, orange and kiwi. So we'll get cherry, orange and kiwi inside of a tuple. So like in list, when we were bringing a range of indexes, then it gave us a new list. Now it is giving us a new tuple.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, and next, if we don't want to give a start index, then we can just leave this empty. So it will bring 0 1
Yeah.
2 3.
Starting set.
Yeah, and to get till the end, we can just leave the end index,
Leave.
and we don't need to give it a value, so it will bring till the end. So from cherry to mango. And we can also bring in through a range of negative indexes, and -1 will also not be included. So -4 is orange, -3 is kiwi, -2 is melon. So orange, kiwi and melon will come.
Yeah.
And then, like, to check if items exist, like we did in list, we'll use the in keyword. So if apple in this tuple, then print yes, apple is in the fruits tuple.
Yes.
And then this is saying update tuples. So now tuples are not changeable, but it's showing us some ways to change a tuple. So tuples are unchangeable, meaning you cannot change, add or remove items once the tuple is created, but there are some workarounds. So, for example, what you have, if you have a tuple x, what you can do, you can convert it to a list through the list constructor. So you can convert it
Okay.
to a list through the list constructor. So we can pass the tuple to the list constructor, and it will convert it to a list and return it as a list. Next, for example, we want to convert banana to kiwi, then we'll say the list's second element or the first index element equals to kiwi, and then we say x equals to tuple y. So we are converting this list back to tuple, which has now the kiwi value, and we are saving in place of x where this value was stored. So we are overriding this value. So finally, when we print x, we will get apple, kiwi, cherry.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, since we cannot change anything in the tuple, so we are converting it into a list before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, if we want to add items, we'll convert it to a list and we'll append, and then we will like convert it back into a tuple. And if we want to add a tuple
Yeah.
inside of a tuple, then what we can do, this is telling something very interesting, that if we have this tuple apple, banana, cherry, and then we have y, and which has a single value orange, and then we use the plus equals to operator, the assignment operator, plus equals to, and try to add the value of y inside of this tuple, so it will actually add orange into it. So Python allows you to add a tuple inside of a tuple. It's unchangeable, and even though you cannot change, but you can still add a tuple inside of a tuple.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Next, we can remove items the same way like we can convert the tuple to a list. We can remove to the remove method and then convert back to tuple, or we can delete the tuple completely. So when we use the del keyword, this will delete the tuple completely, and when we try to print this tuple, it will actually bring an error. Why? Because now this tuple does not actually exist.
Okay.
Okay. So next we are on unpacking tuples. So unpacking tuples is basically like bringing it out of the collection type and actually using the values outside of the tuple. So we'll just see once what we mean by unpacking a tuple. So for example, here there's a tuple. So this is packing a tuple, meaning creating a tuple. Next, if we want to divide the values of the tuple into variables, then what we can do, on the left hand side we can have green comma yellow comma red in parentheses, and we can say equals to fruits. So apple will be assigned to green, banana will be assigned to yellow, and cherry will be assigned to red. So when we see green yellow red, when we print green yellow red, we'll get apple, banana, and cherry. And
Okay.
the number of variables should match the number of items inside the tuple, or this will bring an error.
Error. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So let's just test that once. So it has bring an error. Next, we can use an asterisk. For instance, we don't have the number we don't have the number of items on the left, than and we have more items on the right. So for example, we have 5 on the right and 3 on the left. So what we can do is, to avoid any errors, we can add a star to the last item. So the last variable, when we add a star to it, so what this will do, it will add apple to green, banana to yellow, and to red it will give the rest remaining values: cherry, strawberry, and raspberry. So if we are not sure about the items that are there in the tuple, we can simply add a star, and basically we can say that the remaining values should go in that variable in the form of a list.
Yeah. Understood.
So now there is, through this example we can also see another way of converting a tuple into a list. So we saw two ways already. Now we can also convert it through like this. So star red is equals to fruits. So what this will do, it will see that there is no variables before this, and there is simply an asterisk sign and red. So it will add each and every item of the tuple into the red variable in the form of a list. Oh,
Okay.
so it brought an error. So it's not allowing me to basically do that, and saying that there must be a variable in front. I don't know why that's the case, but It's saying that there should be a variable in front and then only it will allow.
And what if we like what if it was like asterisk green and then red?
Yeah, so that also will most probably bring an error because it always wants the asterisk to be on the last item. But as we can see, it has not thrown an error because it's okay. So it sees the that there's one item at the end, so it assigns raspberry to red, and
Yeah.
then
And the rest it
yeah,
gives it to the asterisk one.
yeah, but essentially in other languages it would have brought an error because they don't this smartly like assign values to the
Yeah.
variables when unpacking.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah, so over here there's an example also. So for example, the middle value has an asterisk. So apple will be assigned to green, and then mango, papaya, and
And
pineapple
cherry.
will be given to tropic, and red will be assigned cherry.
Cherry. Yeah.
Yeah. So Python is actually like smarter than other languages in these cases.
Okay.
So now we can loop through a tuple like we did in the list. So using the for loop, for x in this tuple,
Yeah.
we can print x, and then we can loop through the index numbers also using the range function and the length function combined. So we take out the length of the tuple, we pass it to the range function. So over here the range function will return an iterable consisting of 0, 1 and 2, and I will first be assigned 0 and then 1 and 2, and then when we say this tuple I, it will first bring the value on the 0th index, then the first index, and then the second index. So it will bring apple, banana and cherry. So is this fine?
Yes, yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Understood.
So we can also use a while loop. So for example, we have this tuple over here and we say I equals to 0. So until and unless this condition is false, it will keep executing this code. So using I as the index, we are bringing a value of each element of this tuple. So first we are bringing apple, then incrementing I, then banana, then incrementing I, and in each loop it checks if this condition is false, and once the value of I is 3 after showing cherry, then it when it will compare it would be false and it would break out of the loop.
Yeah, basically like the usual while loop.
Yeah, like a while loop works. And also if this
Yeah, yeah.
condition is like never false, then it will bring,
Then it will never break.
yeah, it will create an infinite loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to press, I think, space bar to get out of the loop.
Yeah, space or in some editors control C also.
Okay, okay.
Next we have join two tuples. So we can join two tuples using the plus operator like we did.
Concatenation.
Yeah, like we did with lists. So it adds ABC 1 2 3, and this Python allows even though tuples are not changeable. So that's pretty odd. And what we can do is
Yeah.
we can also do fruits into two. So what this will do is, say apple, banana,
Repeat.
cherry, yeah, it will repeat in the same order. So apple, banana, cherry, apple, banana, cherry, it will repeat two times, and it will add these values in a new tuple that we can save, and we are saving it here in my tuple. And then when we print my tuple, we'll get these values. If we said into 3, then we would have gotten apple, banana, cherry 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next we are on tuple methods. It's just giving us two more methods that we have not done, count and index, and these work exactly the same as they do with lists.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so exercise we can leave for like later, and now we are on sets.
Trying one thing.
Yeah.
I am not sure if I'm correct or not, but I remember, is there like a function in tuple called sorted, which sorts the tuple?
Yeah. It has not told us about it over here. There is actually a sorted function in tuples. So,
I
uh,
was confused. Is it in tuples or something else? Then it's in tuple only, na?
yeah, sorted is in tuples, but you cannot actually sort a tuple because it's unchangeable. So it does
Because
not.
it's unchangeable,
Yeah,
yeah.
but sorted is there, yes, to tell that if the tuple is sorted or not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So next we are on sets. So sets are unchangeable and like unindexable, so you cannot access value through index. Unordered, so they don't have a specific order, and these are the basic properties of a set. So we write them with the curly braces that we use for dictionaries also. And if we
Yeah.
say apple, banana, cherry, and when we print this set, it will show us apple, banana, cherry, even though it is unordered. So if we run this multiple times, we expect to see a different order. Yes, so we see banana, cherry, and apple because it is unordered. So there's no specific order, so it's bringing in any order it likes.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. So they are unordered, unchangeable, and do not allow duplicate values. So duplicates are not allowed in a set. So a duplicate value will be ignored. So if we say apple and apple, one apple would be ignored.
Taken and the other one would be ignored.
Yeah, one would be ignored, one would be taken. And if we had like three apples,
Okay.
then like two of them would be ignored. So it will only keep one instance of a given value.
Okay.
Yeah. So the values 2 and 1 are considered the same value in set and are treated as duplicates. So this is also a very important point to note. So when we are saving values of different data types in a set, like we are saving string, boolean, and an integer, then 1 and true are taken as the same value. So it will only save one of them, that is true. And if we say
Okay.
0 and false, then those are also taken as the same value, so it is saving
Same
0.
value. Okay.
Now as you can see, when we had 1 and true, it took true because true we had given before. When we say 0 and
Yeah.
false, it is taking 0 because false we
Zero.
have given later.
Okay, so it basically takes the first value and the rest is duplicate for it.
Yeah,
So it removes that.
yeah.
Okay.
Next, we can also get the length of the set through the len function,
Length function.
and
Yeah.
they can be of different data types. The values can be of the same data type, and when we check the type, we'll get class set, and then there's the set constructor also. And we are over here passing a tuple to create the set. We can also pass a list to create the set.
List. Okay.
Yeah. So it has created the set for us, and then it's repeating the same part that it told us in the list section. And now we are on accessing
Yeah.
items. So we cannot access items of a set through indexing basically. So what we can do, we
Yeah.
can loop on it, and we can say like for x in this set, so whatever value it finds first, it will bring that and it will print it. Then whatever second value it finds, it will bring that and it will print it, and then finally the third value. So as we can see, when we run this program, we are getting the values in any random order.
Okay. Because the sets are unordered, so whatever comes first, it just takes that.
Yeah. So whatever order it has decided, or basically it's unordered. So whatever order it occurs in, when we are looping, it takes the
Yeah.
first item and then like prints it and then so on.
No. Yeah. So basically, in sets, there is no indexing. Like anything can come at any time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next we have the n keyword also we can use to check if a specific item exists in a set or not. So for example, we can say banana in this set. So that gives us true because it exists in the set. And not in also we saw earlier. Basically, it's the reverse of the
Yeah.
n keyword. Next, we are on adding items. So we can add items in a set. So it's unchangeable, but you can add items and you can basically add items and delete also. You can also delete items in a set. The only thing you can't do
Okay.
is basically change an existing item. That's what you can't do.
Okay.
So this set dot add orange, so it will give us some random order. So it has not added orange in the end, it's random, so it has brought in random order.
Okay.
Next, you can add sets into add a set into another set. So one is this set apple, banana, cherry, and then tropical, pineapple, mango, papaya. So this set dot update tropical. So what this will do, it will add all the items um, of tropical into this set.
This set. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unordered. And then we can add any iterable. So using the update method, if we have a list which we want to add into this set, so we can just say this set dot update my list, and it will add all the items of my list into this set.
So will it add it like a list only or separate
No,
items?
it will add separate items.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then we can also remove item. So we can remove a specific item, like we can't remove by index, but we can remove by value. So in
Yeah.
list we had that we could remove by index, but
The index. Yeah.
in tuple we have to remove by value. So when we remove banana, we will be only left with cherry and apple.
But in this case, since it does not allow duplicate values, so we don't need to like remove it by indexing now, because if we remove banana, there is one banana only. So it will remove that.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. But also it's it being unordered, like like many things don't like allow indexing. So there's dictionary which have keys in it, so those there also
Yeah.
they can't be duplicate values, but we access the key and then we
Yeah.
change. So they
Yeah.
basically this is just a differentiating factor that we can't remove by index, and we are only allowed to remove
Okay.
by value. But this also has its specific use cases later, like when we like create programs, we see specific use cases of a set. So for example, when you have a list, you convert it to a set to remove all duplicates. So if you want to create a program which 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 removes all the duplicates from a list. So for example, we had apple, banana, cherry, and apple. So what one would do, they would try and search and like do something else. But what the easiest way is, we can say x equals to set this list, and then we can convert it back to a list. So this list equals to list x, and then we could print it. So that way also you can remove duplicates. So now there is
Okay. Understood.
yeah, there's 1 minute left, so we'll run this program later because the meeting would end any second now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
See you tomorrow then.
see you
Bye
tomorrow.
bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.